Hi trainers, how's it going? I tested all held items in Pokemon Unite and I found out how they actually work, some secret stats that aren't mentioned, and I'll also be debunking some things that players thought how they worked as well. This took a pretty long time to test, so if you could, subscribing and clicking the bell really helps my channel and keeps me doing videos just like this one. I'm Teeds, I'm a master player in Pokemon Unite and I played MOBAs for over 9 years. My goal is to help you become the very best, like no one ever was. Question of the day, which held item do you think needs to be changed? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, let's get into it. There are 16 different held items in Pokemon Unite, all with their own stats and unique passives. This is all based on my own testing and the item level that I have it on. I don't have them all at 30, I have some at 10 and some at 20. Unfortunately, I couldn't test them at their max stats because I think it would cost way too much money for me to even try to get all of them to level 30. So for their stats, I will be talking about them at their max stats, but for my testings, it's just at the level that I have them. First, Floatstone. Floatstone has been a favorite of many, including myself, and I'm pretty sad to find out that this item is not good as we thought. So in-game stats increases movement speed by 20% when the Pokemon is not in combat, attack plus 24, movement speed plus 120. From this alone, it seems like a pretty good item. 20% movement speed increase is huge, it'll help you get to fights faster, and I thought this was at least core on Pokemon who were in the central area since they rotated a lot between lanes. However, this actually takes 8 seconds to activate. Yes, 8 seconds, that's a really long time. In Pokemon Unite, you pretty much always want to be attacking wild Pokemon whenever they're up because farming in this game is so incredibly important. I did a side-by-side comparison and honestly, the difference was really little. I tested it with the passive activated and I also tested it with the activated while I was running to the other lane. Regarding the stats, at level 30 it gives you 24 attack and 120 movement speed. This may sound like a lot, but I tested this on Talonflame. My level 20 Floatstone only increases its basic attack by 3%, and at level 15 it increases my fly move by a very low 1%. Generally, this just means that the instant stats you get from items mostly do not make a huge difference, and it's their passives that are more important. Floatstone unfortunately is just not viable at the moment. The 120 movement speed is also not a lot as well because the base movement speeds are around 3000 plus, so it's very tiny. Floatstone unfortunately is just not viable at the moment, and it's definitely very sad. It was one of my most used items and I put a lot of item enhancers in it, but hopefully they'll make some item changes to all the items. Next we have Score Shield. This item surprised me so much. It wasn't an item that I really used, but honestly, that might change now and it is a lot stronger than what I originally thought. While the Pokemon is attempting to score a goal, it is granted a shield equal to 10% of its max HP and its goals cannot be interrupted while it is shielded. This item also gives you a huge amount of max health. At first, I thought it was a pretty clutch item because the shield wasn't massive or anything, however, it actually stacks with shields. I tested this with Lucario and Eldegoss. Lucario gets a shield when low health, so they have to get through that shield first before it starts hitting your score shield. Also with Eldegoss Cotton Guard, they have to get through the shield first before it hits your score shield as well. I also tested this with Buddy Barrier and it's massive. I didn't test it with every shield in the game, but just from this alone, it should work with pretty much most shields if not all. This also has a 6-second cooldown, which is incredibly short. Even without extra shields, you can at least get smaller scores in, maybe around 15 to 20, but it will vary on which Pokemon you use it on. Next, we have Focus Band. When the Pokemon drops to low health, then each second for 3 seconds, it recovers 14% of the HP it had lost. This item gives you defense and special defense, and it will heal for 14% of your HP loss. You will heal 3 times with Focus Band. This item will trigger every 90 seconds. This may seem like a long time, but Pokemon Unite offers so much healing with goal zones and berries being a thing, it will only be a major issue if you're in constant battle and getting to low health. Focus Band can come in clutch in the situations you need it, and heals you a lot too to give you the extra edge in fights. For the defense stats, this is something that is harder to test, but I'll have to do a whole separate thing for it. But on my level 3 Talonflame, the defense stat of plus 18 didn't really make a difference at all, with it only being a 5 damage number difference. So defense scalings are a whole different topic. Next, attack weight. When the Pokemon scores a goal, its attack increases by 12, attack plus 18. Attack weight is a bit of a risky item to use since it is a stacking item. From my testing, I got around a 5% damage increase on moves when fully stacked and a 9% damage increase on basic attacks. However, it seems to vary from Pokemon to Pokemon. It will be fully stacked after scoring the goal 6 times. It does not matter how many points you have, you just need to score at least 6 times. So you could just do like really quick dunks of 2s, 3s, 5s, etc. Next, special attack specs. When the Pokemon scores a goal, its special attack increases by 16, special attack plus 24. From my calculations on different Pokemon, special attack specs at level 10 gives you a 3 to 4% increase in damage depending on the Pokemon. Just like attack weight, it is the same for special attack specs. It will be fully stacked after scoring 6 times. It will not matter how many points you have. So generally for these two items, I recommend to score as many little points as you can to make sure you get those stacks for it. Trying to score multiple big scores will make it very hard to stack. Next, we have Buddy Barrier. Grants a shield to you and a nearby ally Pokemon with the lowest HP when using your Unite move. Plus 600 HP, 40% shield of HP. This item is pretty strong as it has the ability to keep you and an ally in fights. From my level 20 Buddy Barrier, the shield lasts just under 5 seconds on both myself and my ally. Next, we have Energy Amplifier. After using your Unite move, deal increased damage for a short time. Energy gather rate plus 6%, CD reduction plus 4.5%. Increases damage by 21% for the duration. From my testing, this lasts for 4 seconds from the time you use your Unite move, so it's pretty much good for using your moveset and some basic attacks. Next, we have Assault Vest. Gain a shield against special attack damage while out of combat. HP plus 270, special defense plus 42, shield for 15% of your HP. This will proc after 8 seconds after leaving combat, so it takes 8 seconds to gain the shield. I found out that this item kind of stacks with Score Shield, but with Assault Vest Shield only taking damage from special based Pokemon, so if you try to score with Assault Vest and Score Shield, and you take damage from a special Pokemon, it will take Assault Vest first. So yes, it does stack with Score Shield, but if you have a physical based Pokemon attacking your Assault Vest, it doesn't take away that shield and it will just take away your health and ignore the Assault Vest shield and go straight for Score Shield, if that makes sense. So yeah, I found Assault Vest really interesting. The shield was really small though. In my testings, it got eaten up really quickly, but it could save you in those really clutch situations. Next, we have Shell Bell. Recover HP when successfully landing a move. The higher your special attack, the more HP recovered. Special attack plus 24, CD reduction plus 4.5%, 75 health at least on max item level. 10-second cooldown, so this means the heal will only trigger once every 10 seconds. From my testing, this will also still activate even if you are in full health, which should be changed in my opinion because it does eat up the passive even if you do not need the heal at that moment. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but from my testings, this does not heal you multiple times on Cramorant. I've seen players talking about how Shell Bell is really good for Cramorant because it heals on the move with Cramorant's tick damage, and that wasn't the case. I tested this on every Cramorant move and it only healed once. I'm guessing because Cramorant can clear multiple wild Pokemon really quickly, and you do get heals off clearing wild Pokemon without Shell Bell, it might have just been a confusion thing, but then again, I don't know if my testing just told me something different. Every Cramorant move I used, it only healed me once every 10 seconds. What I found in my testing with Shell Bell as well is that even if you're max health, it will still trigger the 10-second cooldown for Shell Bell, so even if you don't need the help, it will still use it. Next, Leftovers. Recovers health over time while out of combat. HP plus 240, HP recovery plus 9. This takes 8 seconds to activate after leaving combat and it will heal you until you're full health or until you're in combat again. Pokemon Unite is super fast paced and a majority of the time you should just always be farming, so I felt that changing the activation time of this item would make it much better. So regarding balancing, I think what they should change with Leftovers, Assault Vest and Float Stone or anything with an 8-second activation time, they should make it shorter because in Pokemon Unite, you're pretty much just always wanting to constantly be in battle since farming is such a huge thing in Pokemon Unite and it is a 10-minute game, so it's rather fast paced. With the scoring items, while not necessarily bad, the problem is that it's not reliable or consistent as other items because it does rely on you scoring, and there are games where you just can't score because sometimes the enemies defend it very well, so I just don't think those are reliable items to have. It was really fun testing these though. It's great to have a better understanding of it, so I hope this helps you understand how the items worked as well. So from my testings, here are some item combinations that I find. What I find really interesting is the combinations you can make, so Score Shield and Buddy Barrier for example, Assault Vest and Score Shield, attack weight, special attack specs, AOS Cookie and Score Shield because they will help you score those quick dunks. It's just a lot of cool combinations. Unfortunately, not all of the items are super viable yet, so hopefully they make some changes because these combinations would be so fun to use. The last items I have are things that are pretty straightforward and I didn't find any hidden things or stats about them really. So first we have Scope Lens. Increases the damage of your basic attack critical hits. The higher your attack, the more damage is increased. critical hit chance plus 6%, critical hit damage plus 12%. I wanted to see how this exactly works, but it seems that it works how it is described. So basic attack damage won't increase, but the crit damage will do more. For example, you can have 200 basic attack damage, and likely this means that you will crit for 400. But if you have scope lens, your basic attack damage stays the same, but your crit damage will be slightly higher. The stats of this item, not the passive, also affect critical base moves from my testing. Next, Rocky Helmet. After absorbing enough damage, deal percent damage based on your max HP to nearby enemies. From my testing, this was roughly a 2-second cooldown. Basic attacks did not seem to trigger this effect, however it was triggered by moves of the Pokemon I tested. You basically would just deal damage kind of like a reflect, and the other items were just pretty straightforward, so there wasn't really anything to test. These items are XP share, grants you more XP as long as you're the lowest leveled Pokemon, and also gives you more XP to your teammate just slightly. Wise Glasses just increases your special attack, and AOS Cookie is a stacking item as well. It has the same risk and it's not consistent, but I couldn't test this one because the numbers were just not as visually available. Okay, so we got through all the items. I really hope this helps you out. I find this to be very useful to actually understand how each item works properly. This definitely helps me decide what I should build, even though the current item meta is not too varied. I'm hoping that will change in the future. So let me know your answers to the question of the day. What balance changes do you think they should make in Pokemon Unite for the items? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, trainers. Feel free to subscribe and click the bell for more Pokemon Unite guides, news, and gameplays. Like the video if you found this helpful, and I hope to see you for the next one. Bye!